think it's important to consider what's happening behind the scenes, right? The applicant has experienced the application process and the audition. That is what they have provided to us. Now we are trying to make a decision with that information. So, and this kind of goes throughout the year, right? So even early decision, early action is a similar process for this whole thing. One is all of the academic considerations, GPA, counselor recommendations, test scores if you choose to submit them. That's all really considered by the Office of Undergrad Admission. They're doing that kind of traditional, holistic admission review, and they're going to consider whether or not each student can be successful at DU as a student from an academic standpoint. So they're kind of doing that. We have now heard your audition, we've looked at your music-specific information, so we have that. Now I sit down with every department chair across Lamont. So in the string department, I'm meeting just with Professor Wang, the overall department chair for that area. We're talking about the audition results, the needs of the department, right? Because one of the things that we really strive for is to balance the department well. It's really for both us, for our ensembles and whatnot, but for the student experience. If you come in and you're the only cellist and we have 100 violinists, we may be fully enrolled, but that doesn't provide a good experience for the violinists or the cellists, to say nothing of the rest of the orchestra. So that is one of our considerations. We make our admission decisions based on both what we hear from the student, but also what Lamont needs to be right-sized. We don't want 100 tuba players, right?
So I have a question about that.
Yeah.
Do applicants receive then an admission letter from DU and an admission letter from Lamont?
Yeah, so when the decision comes out, they're going to get an alert that an admission decision has been made. They'll go to their application portal, same place they filled out the Lamont app, and they'll see a decision from both of us at the same time. It'll say, you've been admitted to the University of Denver and the Lamont School of Music. Congratulations,
great,
right? So
great.
even though we're kind of doing stuff in silos in the back end, or we're talking about academics and music, we do come together, make our decisions together, and then reflect and communicate those decisions to students together, right? So you're not getting separate things. I will note that you can be admitted to DU and not Lamont. So on the Lamont application that you mentioned, there is a question about, if you don't get admitted to music, would you like to be considered at DU for something else? So you can put like English or whatever it is that your other interest is. If we have that information and you don't pass your audition to Lamont and you are admissible to DU, you'll be automatically admitted as an English major instead of a music major. And we'll alert you to that change and all of that. But you don't have to reapply. You still have that. You can be considered for that other area.
And of course, there are opportunities for that student to come participate at Lamont while they're at DU, right?
Ensembles, lessons, coursework, all of these things. You can even audition for a minor later on. However, so while you can be admitted to DU and not Lamont, the reverse is not true. If you are not admitted to DU on an academic basis, even if we really like you from a music standpoint, we cannot admit you to Lamont if you're not admissible to DU.
Got it.
So that's something to consider. So yeah, I will meet and talk with the faculty. We'll make those admission decisions. We'll work with Office of Undergrad Admission to make sure that all the people we think are admissible are also admissible to DU.